Hello you guys, I am still at Sandy Cove and my hair is dripping wet and I'm going to try to do what I do and show you how I've refined this wash and go, just because I've gotten so many questions in real life about exactly what it is that I'm doing. People have wanted to know, is this comb coils? What is this? And it's really just my wash and go. And so I want you to take a look at my hair. What you're looking at right now are the very same coils that I defined. Like, my hair is already extremely coily. They're about pen size coils. I'm trying to see if, this is an example. That's how my hair naturally coils up. And I'm going to use this Tangle Teaser. Is the Magic Flower Pot Tangle Teaser, the kid version. And the regular Tangle Teaser would work just as well. I just like how this fits in my hand. I'm going to use this to clump my hair up into a bunch of sections that look like this. So I'm really not using a comb. Some people make coils with combs. That's not what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you step by step how I've managed to perfect this for me. My holy grail products are the As I Am leave-in conditioner, which I complain so much about because it's expensive. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but it lasts a long time. So it's holy grail now. I really like how the leave-in works. In my hair, it's very light and it gives me lots and lots of moisture. So I'm using this as to moisturize my hair. And I lock it all in with oil. This is almond oil. I don't always use almond oil. Sometimes I use safflower oil, which is a ceramide. Let me grab that before the oil gets all over the floor because my hair is dripping wet. I do this soaking wet out of the shower. And while I'm in the shower with conditioner in my hair under the water, I detangle my hair first with the Tangle Teaser so that this shingling that I'm about to do, my hair is already relatively detangled, so I won't have any kind of resistance getting through. So I see something that I forgot. I forgot the clips. Hold on a minute, I'll be back. Back with the clip. These, I forgot what these are called, but I noticed that I have to separate my hair in sections to avoid leaving out a section of hair. But the first thing that I do, now that my hair is a little bit longer, I like the way the curls fall better if I have a part. And so I like to use a comb with a very sharp edge, the rat tail comb with the metal end on one side of it. That would probably be the best one to use, but I find that this one works well for me also. And I've never done this in front of a computer screen, so I also have a handheld mirror down here that I'm going to be using to do that. So I like to do like a half moon part, but I make sure I don't go too far because before I was making the part all the way back here and I kind of look like a throwback to the 20s or something. It didn't look good. So that I'll be shingling down this way, and then back this way, and then the part looks more natural. And so what I do, since I won't be working with this part, I just put it right here. So this is really to save the part. And at home, I usually have more of these clips, but I'm still at Sandy Cove, so I don't have all my stuff. So I'm gonna put this mirror down, and I think I can do the rest on the screen. So this gel, the first time I used it, this Eco Styler gel, it flaked on me horribly, but I think that was because I was using too much of it. So I find that if I just run a portion of it all over my head before I even start doing anything, and then add it again section by section, I end up using just the right amount and I don't have that problem. But I don't want anything drying without any kind of gel on it at all, so that's why I do that. And so now that the sides of my head are a lot longer than what they were, what I like to do is use my tangle teaser and just rake the tangle teaser through the really short areas. And that will make some hair clump so that I won't have to spend as much time working with it section by section later on. And this is something that I started doing that I didn't do in my first video. I rake this tangle teaser through my hair more than just once. So I only do this with the super short hair, and I do this in the back as well. And I really try to get myself to understand the feel of my hair and understand how the coils actually feel. Since I can't really see back here, it just takes more time if I'm constantly picking up a mirror and putting a mirror down. So if I could just figure out with my fingers if things are working the way I'd like, I find that it's better. Okay. This is so hard because on the computer, everything is like backwards. So this is not quite like what I'm used to working with. Honestly, really need the mirror. That's better. So I'm looking down at a mirror, so. Okay, so at this point I want to do this section. I'm gonna put more gel. And I just run it maybe 3 or 4 times. Enough until I get something that looks like coils. And I work section by section so that I don't forget any areas. I can already tell that in this lighting, maybe this might not be my best work. I like being in my bright bathroom better. So I've already done all the shingling I'm going to do, and if you look at my hair, it's pretty chunky. The back. Very chunky. And the first time I did the wash and go, I couldn't figure out how people didn't just walk around with their hair looking chunky, and I had to kind of make a mental shift about what these are. You have to think of this as a wet set. So if you put your hair in a bunch of rods for a set, when you take the rods out, you're gonna separate your curls, you're gonna fluff things, you're gonna move things around until it lays the way you want it to. And that's the exact same thing that I've learned how to do with my wash and go. So here's my part. I want stuff to lay this way and stuff to lay this way and stuff to go back. And this looks a little fuzzy, so I always have like a little bit of gel on my hands when I'm separating. And the motion is a twirl. So that's why I think people tend to think that These are finger coils. Like a couple of the sections that I separate, I end up coiling them and it just looks like a coil. But that's what my hair wants to do anyway. And I basically do it just to really avoid the fuzz. So I actually like the way the chunks came out today. It's just so funny. And that's another thing with this style. It's like it can look different. It can look a little different every time you do it. And sometimes that can be frustrating if you really are trying to go for the exact same look you had before. But other times, like today, it can be a little exciting because, you know, you're changing up your look. I don't want the ends to be fuzzy, so just by sliding my fingers down the sections, I can get rid of some of that fuzz. I've really been happy with this because even though like on the initial wash, this is a little bit time consuming, I have found that this can last me a good 4 to 5 days with me just really having to refresh the sides and the very back as my hair gets longer. So, and I'm thinking once my hair gets even longer, you know, once the sides are this length, I won't even have to work that hard to refresh them. I'll just have to spritz them with water, you know, and kind of shake them, rub them, lift them up off my scalp because it flattens when I'm sleeping. I'm thinking it'll be even easier then. So once again, just thinking of this as a wet set, and what would you do if you did a rod set or a roller set or a twist out to get the shape that you want. It's all about separating curls and making the curls look more uniform, because another thing that I'm dealing with is that my texture is not consistent all over my head. You know, I have more defined coils on top, and down here the hair tends to be, the curl pattern is a little bit looser, so the hair doesn't necessarily want to clump as much. And I have areas back here that just want to be fluffy and cottony. It doesn't want to be coily. So in those areas I manipulate the same coil that I have up here by kind of finger coiling those areas. And then I'll need a mirror to finish the back up, but I wanted to show you what I do with the front. Now, when I was younger, the baby hairs around my hairline were a lot more prominent, and I used to hate it, believe it or not, because I felt like it made me look so much younger and I wanted to look older. But with this style, since I'm not getting my sides edged up, I think when I, you know, work with the baby hairs, it gives me a cleaner look. So I just put a little bit of gel on them, and then I take my comb and I kind of swirl. I just brush down and over to create this kind of like swirly baby hair effect with my actual baby hair. Like I'm not pulling big thick sections of hair to do this, because then it really looks contrived. See that? See that? See that? And I'll let that dry, and I'll watch it like a hawk, so that if anything dries white and powdery, which it usually doesn't, I'll just take a wet washcloth and clean that off before I leave. And so my hair is still wet, and so I noticed that sometimes once it dries, different coils will stick up and kind of mess up my part. So because of that, I like to use these bobby pins, these curved bobby pins, which I was so afraid of when I saw them in the store. I thought they'd be like the other ones that had the ridges, but they don't snag in my hair at all, and they hold really well. but I like to use them to make sure that the coils that are near the part lay in the direction that I want them to lay in. But I do it carefully because I don't want it to show that I'm using a pin. I don't want to interrupt the shape either.